Hey, everybody, Hop Sauce here. Thanks for checking in here. All right, so I'm sitting here, I'm looking at the broader market, and look, this is the part that has me on the edge of my seat. Okay, stock market's pushing higher, hitting all-time highs. It's crazy. S&P, NASDAQ are showing strength. AI stocks, you got the big tech. Overall market optimism is pushing the risk assets up, apparently. Okay, here's the problem though. Crypto is not fully confirming the move yet. Crypto market's down. And so traditionally, these cycles when the stock market pumps, risk on starts to be a theme. Okay, so I was looking at TradingView. The economics article showing the broader market continuing to move higher. And on the surface, it looks like the risk on is back. Okay, but when you look at the overall crypto market, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and such have been struggling. Bitcoin's right at that 80,000, 80 to 2. I went up to 83,000. It's back down. Ethereum, Solana, XRP, similar looking charts. They're not exactly screaming full risk on yet, but get ready, people. Okay, crypto market is on the edge of the seat again. The big umbrella is sitting here going, okay, the market's trying to price in optimism because everything's up. Stronger earnings, AI growth, better economic data is what they're saying. It's kind of weird. There's some things that are falsified in my mind. Okay, maybe rate cut expectations potentially, and maybe a soft landing and not a crash. That's what I'm hearing the people talk about here, the economic experts and such. But crypto tends to be a little bit more sensitive, a lot bit more sensitive to liquidity. A smaller amount of money can move crypto faster. Okay, that's what I am personally looking at right now. When the risk appetite's on, and there's more speculation, investors are a little more comfortable getting into the crypto. So if it doesn't confirm these support level moves, these resistance levels, I'm still standing by. Here's an article I'm going to share real quick out of Reuters. It says U.S. equities rebounded to record highs on Fridays as strong earnings perspectives and robust labor signals offset risks from the war in Iran. S&P and NASDAQ up 0.5% to new records. Crazy. And the AI infrastructure, companies in the AI infrastructure software space rise up after growing demand that's due to be determined by macroeconomics headwinds in the U.S. economy. Strikes between Iran and U.S. push back any hopes of a deal that restore energy supply from the Persian Gulf. Also, the jobs report back-to-back months of higher unemployment. That's where you get that stagflation discussion coming in. Gains, strengthening the rhetoric from the hawkish FOMC members and higher core inflation bets on a Fed hike this year. Tesla and Nvidia were over 1% higher, while AMD gained 2% to be on track for a 15% surge this week. So the thing is, okay, the Bitcoin price, it's below 80,000. Okay, when we're looking at the charts, if you check TradingView, by the way, I got a link below there. TradingView is awesome. The jobs report could end the crypto slump, possibly, okay, because there were some better job reports there. But Bitcoin struggled to reach those gains on the weekly, okay? Even though investors are hoping that it's going to push against that resistance, it hasn't yet. So we can't just sit here and live on hopium like that, okay? So even the stocks look set to extend their record-breaking rally on hopes of the U.S. and Iran could agree a peace deal soon. Now let's take a look at the XRP chart, because here's the levels that I'm watching closely, and I am going to create a thing where there's a higher probability for me to make a potential decision soon. So these are the daily candles here. If you look back since July 2025 back here, we had that big run up. Ever since that 52-week high, look at this. Boom, boom, all the way down, all the way down. Then a steeper decline from that touch point up here. And then we got into this consolidation zone. Okay, so this is the main thing I'm focusing on right now is this zone between 132 and 150, $1.50 is a flag pattern. We had a big candle drop that rebounded on February 5th and 6th. So now, as it moves sideways, we have not closed below the body of this candle. It remains bullish. Until we get a close below this 120, we are in a bullish momentum moving sideways here. Now, we did close above the flagpole right here. And I thought that was going to be our breakout, but we had to stand. You have to confirm. When you get a breakout right here, you have to look at the next day to confirm. We had this tailing wick that shot up and came back down. So sideways, boom, bump off the support. And you can see it right here. So now my whole thing, I'm looking for the volume. And now what I want to show you all right here, we should probably use wait, that's fine. We can use this line. A little bit steeper, I should say a less steep of a decline is what we're doing right there. Now you can see it's not as steep as these yellows right over here. Okay, last thing I want to do, I want to put on this. I've been working with Python that I am inputting some code for my personal technical indicators that have to do with RSI, moving averages, Bollinger Bands, and things of that nature. Okay, and it's right here. Let's see, HubSpot's daily right here. Boom. So I program this to where it gives me indicators when these things line up. Okay, as you can see, we kind of had some bearish stuff going on. That was April 30th. Okay, whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 days ago. So, but it was a tiny, thin body here, so it doesn't mean much. Okay, we keep moving here. This is some strength. Our green dot had some relative strength. We had another RSI green plus, and it's at 54.75 right now. Here's my thoughts. These are my probabilities that I'm working with personally. If this thing goes up and breaks this $1.50, we could see a move up. And then, like I said, got to make sure it comes back and tests this. It creates new support. We should see some higher XRP prices. And this is primarily due because the stock market's on all-time highs. So investors are going risk on, taking a look at more riskier asset classes such as crypto. Okay. And, the smart investors stay with that Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana. And maybe a couple others that are a little bit lower down with 1 to 10 in the market cap. So, hey, everybody, I just want to show that to you. Thanks for checking in. Hop Sauce signing out here. Pay attention for that $1.50 zone on XRP, and let's see if we can blast through that right there. All right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Peace out.